Welcome to yet another episode of Over a Cup of Tea. And today I'm very happy to present, moreover, not present, to be with one of the greatest singers of India who followed his passion from chemical engineering towards singing. And sir, let me start off with the first song you recorded. That was for Nammavar, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the first song I recorded in Tamil was Nammavar, but I think I had recorded for Vidyasagar before in Telugu.
Oh,
So,
right.
uh, so I mean, technically,
The first.
Vidyasagar only I
Yes,
recorded
that's correct. The
first.
first.
But
Okay.
my first Tamil song, and of course, it was a very significant film that I recorded for. So, that way, I think Nammavar was, yeah,
Let me go a little behind that. There was a
yeah.
time when there was a set of three college students who wanted, as a dream, to make a movie where one will compose music, the other one will sing, and one will direct. So I want to go to that time of your life, and we would like to hear that story again.
You're talking about Rajiv Kumar.
Teacher
Yeah,
Rajiv Kumar,
yeah.
Sharath sir, and you.
Shar, oh, Sharath and me. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, TK Rajiv Kumar, I know him from college days.
Yes.
So, um, he's my, yeah, he was in the same college, University College, and in Trivandrum, and I was 1 year his senior. And he always felt okay. There's a small, I think sometimes when we say something, it gets carried over, the tail gets, uh, has wings, and it's a different story that reaches the people in the end.
Right.
uh, the actual story was Rajiv and I were in the same college,
Okay.
and we were very good friends, and we had this orchestra called Bluebirds, where Rajiv used to be mainly the organizer. He also used to play the Congo drums, but he never used to come for rehearsal because he had to organize the show. He had to do the marketing, get the money, and all that. Of course, we could collect. There was no money that I ever got. None of us got. But we were all very passionate about music, Rajiv included. And then Rajiv also, he's just not into music. He's into various things. He's into mono acting and mimicry and so many other things. So we knew that Rajiv was something else, and he became a he he got an opportunity to get into the film industry, and of course I left Trivandrum and I went off to Bombay, and then, but he always in Trivandrum he wanted me to compose music for.
That
He used
was
to
that
say
how Ivar came into the picture.
Ivar or Sita Kalyanam also. Sita
Sita.
Kalyanam was the first. I mean, that is not really that, but he got me into singing in the industry. He got me my introduction to A.R. Rahman, Rajiv Kumar. That's a different point. But he, strangely, when I never thought that I would compose, or I didn't even know anything what was composing and all that. But Rajiv in University College in the late 70s felt that I would be a music director. I don't know why he felt like that, because I was a singer then. And okay, that there was Suresh Kumar, who was with me in school,
Okay.
and so he was not in the same college as I was, but we used to meet in coffee house once in a while. And one day he called me, and one day he said, "Dey, നിന്റെ വല്ല കാസറ്റ് ഉണ്ടോടെ?" Can I speak in Malayalam?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ഒരു കാസറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്. ഞാൻ ഒരു മലയാളപ്പടം രവീന്ദ്രൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ മ്യൂസിക് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കൊടുക്കണം നിൻ്റെ പാട്ട്.
Oh,
Then I said, look at my answer. I said, എടാ നീ ഈ മലയാള പടത്തിനൊന്നും ഞാൻ പാടും, നീ ഹിന്ദി പടം എന്തെങ്കിലും എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പറ, ഞാൻ നിനക്ക് കാസറ്റ് തരാം. I mean, it was that I never had those. I didn't even know how to go through all this.
Right.
So I didn't even take that seriously. Though Suresh was serious. This was in the 70s.
Okay.
But then what happened later was Rajiv became a director. He got me introductions to various people in the film industry. Like my main thing, like A.R. Rahman was introduced by Rajiv to, Rajiv Kumar. And that's why I'm here. And even my, I won't say my first Hindi song, but he took me to Bombay and made me sing for Jatin and Lalit and in Raja Ko Rani Se Pyar Ho Gaya. And that's how I got an intro to Javed Akhtar. And Javed Saab was very pleased with my diction.
Oh.
And that's how so many songs I sang in Hindi also for Javed Saab, like Dil Chahta and things like that. So that's where Rajiv Kumar, that's why he's so important to me,
Right.
to my career. You know, he paved the way for me in so many ways, even without his knowledge, I would say. He really paved the way for me to become what I am today. And then later on, Suresh Kumar produced a film, Rajiv directed, and I did the music, and that was Sita Kalyanam. It's okay, Sita Kalyanam did not release in the theaters. But when we did that film, we had so much of passion going, and we thought we did some good music in that film.
Because I remember it has an element of B.R. Prasad, who wrote in Sanskrit, and the song was like very peppy numbers, and especially the song Dure Dure and
Yeah.
Raga Sudha Rasa, both of them were like very soul stirring, and even the picturization was so green and so beautiful to watch.
It was, but then
Especially Sita Kalyan.
it never got released. So it just got a television channel release. That too, 7 years after
Right.
we made the film, we made the music. So that's okay. That's a different point. But I'm saying Suresh Kumar, who I knew in college, in school and college, who told me to give me a cassette, and I refused. And Rajiv Kumar, who said I should do music. Both these people collaborated to do a film, and I did the music for that. So,
Right.
in 2002, says after how many years? 25 years.
25.
So it's these things happen in life. It's so beautiful.
The dreams
And
do
to complete the your story of where Sharat comes in is when I was in Madras then, and Rajiv, when he comes to Madras for his film work, he used to call me, and I used to go and meet him. So he was doing Malayalam films, and one day he said, I'm doing this film. പടത്തിൻ്റെ കമ്പോസിങ് ആണ്, അപ്പം നീയും കൂടെ വാ. ശരത്ത് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ജീനിയസ് ആണ് അവൻ. സോ നീയും കൂടെ വാ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. സോ വുഡ്ലൻഡ്സിൽ ഞാൻ പോയി, ഞാൻ വെറുതെ. അപ്പോൾ ദെൻ ശരത് ഹാർമോണിയത്തിൽ ഇരുന്ന്, അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ഒക്കെ ചെയ്തു. രാജീവിൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടാണെന്നാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ശരത് ദിസ് ഹാർമോണി സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് സിംഗിങ് ദാറ്റ്സ് Maya tarara tararararara. He had already Maya something. തമിഴിലായിരുന്നു വാക്കുകൾ. ശരത്തിൻ്റെ സിസ്റ്ററിൻ്റെ പേര് മായയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഐ ഫീൽ ദാറ്റ് ഹി സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് വിത്ത് ദാറ്റ് മായ, ഏതോ സം തമിഴ് ഡമ്മി വേർഡ്സ്
Okay.
he used. Tarari, tararararu. So it was so beautiful, it was so complete, that Pallavi. And then the Charanam, and I was like blown. Pa, what a genius he is. And then, I mean, when you're there, you have to say something, no? So it was not because of anything. I never really thought about it, but I said, I said, why don't we, the Charnam, oh, it's too high.
Yeah.
So I said, stop there and then introduce the female from there with an alap. So I sang some alap. Or something I sang. Of course, Sharath being Sharath, he did a beautiful alap in his own way. And they introduced the female voice like that. There was no reason why I should say and why Sharath should accept it. But Sharath accepted it because I was Rajiv's friend. And maybe he thought that it was a... ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ suggestion, it is not some great suggestion. It is probably from so many film songs that you have heard, like Jab Deep Jalayana or something, അതിലെ ഫീമെയിൽ വരുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയാണ്, ഒരു ആലാപം കൊണ്ടാണ് വരുന്നത്. So maybe it's not some phenomenal suggestion, but that's how our interaction started. And then Rajiv asked me to sing one Tamil song, and I sang. Even Tamil ആണ് കേട്ടോ, even മലയാളം പറ്റൂല, ഇവൻ മലയാളം അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. And I was also not interested in singing Malayalam, like that. I was, in fact, not even in Tamil. I wanted to sing in Hindi. I was an idiot. So, ലാംഗ്വേജിന് ഒരു ഇതില്ലല്ലോ. മലയാളം പിന്നെ പേടിയായിരുന്നു എനിക്ക്. ബിക്കോസ് മലയാളം അന്ന് ദാസേട്ടനാണ് പാടുന്നത്. ദാസേട്ടൻ്റെ ആ ഒരു ഉച്ചാരണം, ദ ഡിക്ഷൻ യു ക്യാൻ നെവർ, അതാണ് മലയാളം എന്നുള്ളൊരു, അയ്യോ അതിൻ്റെ അടുത്തൊന്നും നമുക്ക് പോകാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. നമ്മുടെ ഒരു കൊളോക്കിയൽ മലയാളമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഐ ഡോണ്ട് ഈവൻ നോ വാട്ട് ദ ലാംഗ്വേജ്, ദറ്റ് റിയൽ പോയറ്റിക് ലാംഗ്വേജസ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ലെറ്റ് സ്റ്റേ അവേ ഫ്രം ഇറ്റ് എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഇതായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ രാജീവിനറിയാം. അപ്പോൾ രാജീവ് ആസ്മി സിംഗ് തമിഴ് സോങ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ തമിഴ് സോങ് പാടിയപ്പോൾ ശരത്തിന് ഈസൻ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ സൗഹൃദം തുടങ്ങിയത്. ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ശരത്, ഈവൻ ടിൽ ടുഡേ, we are very good friends and there's so much of great memories. And Sharath is a genius. He's വേറൊരു ലെവലിലാണ്, വേറൊരു ലെവലിലാണ്. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ his music also is not എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി അത് ഒരു വെറുതെ ഒരു അട്രാക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു മ്യൂസിക് അല്ല. ദർ ഇസ് സംതിങ് എൽസ് ഇൻ ഇറ്റ്. That is his style of doing music. I have the greatest respect and affection for Sharath from then till now. So, അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ മൂന്ന് പേരുടെയും കഥ.
When you said ഹിന്ദിയിൽ പാടണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു, and a song which is so phenomenal like the Dil Chahta Hai song, Kaisi Hai Ye Ruh Hai Jisme, and that particular song, it is still, if you talk to a youngster, that will be the closest to a person's heart. We would like to know the feeling about that song and how that song happened.
That song happened again because Javed Saab was very fond of me, of my singing. അപ്പോൾ ഞാനങ്ങനെ ജാവേദ് സാബിനൊന്നും വിളിച്ചിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല ഒന്നും. I've never kept any contact with him. That's why I think Javed Saab is a great, there's no real divisions when it comes to his mind. He's a very open person. If he likes something, he somehow loved my singing. So Dil Chahta was his son's first Farhan's directorial venture. He was writing the songs, and Shankar Ehsan Loy was the music director. So Shankar is also a friend of mine. So she part cheyidappo, apparently when they composed it, Javed Saab was the one who suggested that I sing. And Shankar was really too happy. And I composed the Salatin, and he called me and said, hey, we have a lovely song for you, Shrini. Let's all meet up in Bombay and let's sing this. It's a beautiful song we have. It's fantastic. So I didn't know it was son Amir Khan, Saif Ali Khan. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ബോംബെയിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ വിളിച്ചപ്പോൾ പോയിട്ട് there was Akshay Khanna in the studio, and I sang the song like the way Shankar taught me. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. So, and of course the lyrics were beautiful. എന്നാലും അത് ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ പാടുമ്പോൾ അതൊന്നുമല്ല നമ്മൾ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നത്. So, but then when I heard the final product, I was like blown. What a song, I thought. And then the film is one of the most iconic films. Just completed 20 years recently, and yeah, it's as you said. Even today, on my Insta feed, Instagram, so many youngsters talk about that song, especially from the north of India. So it's so nice to be part of such an iconic film and this great song, of course.
Another song like that, when we hear your name, what comes to our mind is that feeling which the words convey of that song, Manju Pole Ma Gunju Pole, because we feel the tenderness in your voice and that particular song. It is for a passionate singer, that is, I would say, is one of the most daring song because it is so tender. It cannot be touched. We would like to know about that song.
Yeah, again, Vidyasagar is such a great composer. He makes his tune and he does it with so much passion, and he records it also with so much passion. So he is the one who suggested that I should sing it really soft, and அதோட அர்த்தம் என்னதுன்னு புரிஞ்சுட்டு நம்ம பாடின அது ரொம்ப சாஃப்டான ஒரு விஷயம். ஸோ நீங்கள் and so he guided me through that song, and so it was one of those beautiful experiences where again I knew that it was such a beautiful song, and but when you sing a song, you sometimes you sing such beautiful songs, you don't know which one is going to become big, which one is not. So now when we talk about Dil Chahta, it did become big.
Yeah.
And Manju Pole, it's probably my address in Kerala.
Yeah.
But there are other beautiful songs also that I've sung for Vidyasagar and others. But if you don't know what the reason is, sometimes it's, it is just that certain songs are meant to. I don't know.
When you say that, the song which comes to my mind, which was not noticed so much, was முப்பது நாளும் முகூர்த்தமானது எந்தன் மாதத்தில்
பூவுக்கெல்லாம்.
பூவுக்கெல்லாம் சிறகு முளைத்தது. That kind of a song, probably it won't come in another 20, 30 years, or maybe never come again. But still, did it reach to that heights of any other song? That would be still remaining a question. Your feelings about that song, which went unnoticed.
But I have always felt that it is okay because it's you're lucky to sing that song, and there are many people like you who ask me to sing that song or in concerts. ഒരുപാട് ആൾക്കാർ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിക്കും ഇങ്ങനത്തെ പാട്ടുകളാണ് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. So the people who have heard that song and experienced such songs will come back to you and tell you about that song. Again, it is today we are in touch with everybody through social media, Instagram ആണെങ്കിലും Facebook ആണെങ്കിലും. So the music lovers who love my songs, they've all heard my rare songs, So that way, it's quite, I'm quite happy, That's that. If you do a good song, it will stay beyond the film, it's beyond all that. It'll go and touch somebody, and they'll tell you about that song. I think it's a good thing, So sometimes I'm very happy to have. It's always like that. You're just happy that you're able to live your dream, and sing these beautiful songs.
Your feelings about Minsara Poove. Again, that became a super duper classic and still remains a Rajnikant hit, rather your hit.
I mean, it is only because of Rajnikant that I sang that song. Of course, A.R. Rahman also, but mainly because of Rajnikant, because he chose my voice over some very big singers. So I just sang the track. And there were other people who sang the song after me, big singers. But Rajni sir felt that my voice was the most suited for that. And he had already shot with my voice. So I got lucky also. And it is my most important song. Before Minsara Puve, I had sung several songs in Tamil and even in Malayalam, a little in Hindi. But after Minsara Puve, my graph turned up in a big way because that stamp of Rajnikant, and then the state award came and all that. So that was it was my career changed dramatically, and I kind of I knew I was established. Kind of that feel I got. I was more stable. People were calling me regularly for singing songs, and I was getting concerts. It just went one after the other. I was just flying. Yeah. After that.
Being a judge for many reality shows, do you see children becoming just cover singers? Will they be singers in the future or just cover singers? Or is it a good practice to bring in a little bit of when you say reality show, there has to be some kind of a drama there. So that also is being brought in. Is it a good culture what we are moving it forward?
It's a good question, but I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Actually, because um, music itself is going through a big metamorphosis. Music in films, I'm saying.
Right.
Because songs in films are becoming a rarity. So it is not like what it was in the 90s or early 2000. Today, you have very few songs in films, especially after these OTT platforms have taken over. And in Tamil, for example, if you can, the big ticket films like Vijay and all that, the kind of songs that are there, it's not, you can't even cover them. It is a very, very different kind of song and dance that's happening. It's according to the film, and there are no more melodic songs. There are no more, very few at least. I think Hindi it's a little bit there, and maybe in Malayalam also, but Tamil it's hardly anything now. So we're going through a drought, which is why in reality shows you can still see people singing songs from the yesteryears. And that's what is happening. So whether that's a good trend, it's good. At least you need music. You need music, and when television puts in budget, puts in a stage, and they're giving you a stage to perform, they also need people to watch it. And obviously original songs, if you perform, nobody is going to watch it. But if you perform a classic, people will watch it. So obviously it will seem as though they are good cover singers, but ultimately if you give them an opportunity, there are so many talented singers, but where are the composers? You need composers. So you need when it comes to Tamil, you had MSV, Raja, and Rahman. Of course, there's Vidyasagar and all that. But then these three people, strode like kings, and Rahman being still there. But we are waiting for the next A.R. Rahman. Seriously, there is nobody now who's consistently giving. There are people with talent. There is Iman is still giving some nice songs, or the others like Anirudh, all those fast-paced songs he does. Santosh Narayanan, he does his own kind of stuff. But where is the consistency? But you can't blame them also. Films also, those days we had 5 songs, and you had at least two melodies, one fast song and one something like that. There was music in it. Even the fast songs had a meaning, had a purpose. But today, I don't think music has today's music. Unfortunately, the value has come down because nobody goes out and buys music anymore. The days of cassettes and CDs are gone long back. Ever since music became digital, the number of YouTube views became, and the likes, when you start that, then you can always buy those things. So when it happens like that, the value for music comes down. So the value, you can engage anybody and ask them to, anybody who can do some music, you can ask them to, um, what is that? You can ask them to come up with something and then put in money, and you can get your likes and views. So you don't need any great music in that, no. So
Okay. Coming to the passion side of it, the chemical engineer Srinivas, or the singer Srinivas, or the music composer Srinivas, or the proud dad of a singer Srinivas. I mean, your daughter started singing now, so
yeah,
how do you see the transition, and which one of the uh, uh, names would you like to don?
I mean, I really don't know because, of course, if you talk about all this, then obviously I would like to be known as my daughter's father. So that is what I would actually like to be known as. Uh, but it's up to her. I'm not saying that because the children, when it comes to children, it is the love is selfless. So you would always like them to succeed, and whatever, even the smallest successes, you feel happy, and um, it's like that. So obviously, that is emotional. Uh, the rest of it, whatever people want to call me, I'm happy because I'm okay with. Today I sit here very contented with, after some 26 20 27 years, all 26 years or 27 years almost. uh, I've done more than what I ever bargained for. I thought I'll sing a few songs and go out and do something else, but today also, I mean, even now I'm singing, I'm getting called for concerts, a little bit of recording, so I'm so happy. And of course, we are going through COVID, so after that, once it opens up, I'm sure it'll open up even more. So I just want to say, I don't believe in being known. I'm known, that's fine. But more than that, I want to keep the past is great, fine. But forget the past. I want to just keep doing something in music till the end. Anything. It can be anything, any something to do with music. It can be anything. But that is something which I always want to do because that gives me so much of joy. That is all.
Because once when I was there at your studios, I heard the Sita Kalyanam first recordings, all in your voice, all your tracks, you had sung it, and I heard the first version. Probably I got enticed with the composer in you. And when I think of Dil Chahta Hai song, or the Manyupole song, or even the Puvukallam Sirigamala Thiru song, or any of the songs, even Minsara Puvi, or 2000 songs, if I name it, it'll just keep on going. But is there a song which you felt that I should have sung it?
No.
You don't feel like that?
Because, no, whatever songs are there out there, they've, they've, every singer has done the fullest justice to it. And they've, their
Okay,
stamp is there. So you don't want to go and change that. So you cannot.
right.
It's, so I think, which is why you go out and sing a Kishore Das song, you can never be like him. You can never reach what he has done. anybody's songs. But similarly, when Kishore does a Rafi Saab song, you'll miss Rafi.
Right.
Rafi sings a Kishore song, you'll miss Kishore. So it's like that. So I'm just giving you an example. So anybody sings somebody else's song, you can never say that it's better than the original. It can never be.
Right. Right. Right.
So I've never felt like that. I've never felt like, oh, I should have sung that. Never.
Uh, there is a very important song in your life where your favorite song, Ranjit Sahi by Mehdi Hasan Saab. Mehdi Hasan Saab, in his lifetime, he never expected him to be a big singer. But even today, we worship his singing because in his uncle's cycle shop, he was working and life took him to places where Mehdi Hasan Saab is now, when you think of ghazals, you think of Mehdi Hasan Saab. You cannot just negate that presence. So, your take on Ranjashri Sahi about ghazals and your love for ghazals.
My love for ghazal started with Ranjishi Sahi, with Mehdi Hasan. I've only read about him earlier, prior to that. And then once I got a cassette from somewhere, I accidentally stumbled into Ranjishi Sahi and I didn't stop listening to that Ranjishi Sahi for over a week or 10 days. I don't know how many times I listened to. That got me hooked to Mehdi Hasan, and then I kept on searching for his music through the 80s. Through the 80s, I've heard so much of Mehdi Hasan that, he became part of me.
Right.
And so Mehdi Hasan is, for me, is the god of ghazal. And so I did my tribute to him. I keep doing my tributes to him. Even now, I have a song ready, which I will release it soon. So, along with Rajesh Vaidya, I've done Dekh To Dil. So, that will come out pretty soon. So, things like that.
We'd like to have a few lines of Ranjashri Sahi from you.
Rajesh Sai. Ha. Okay, for you, I'm sure. I hope you. Can you hear the track?
Yeah.
रंजशे सही दिल ही दुखाने के लिए रंजशे सही फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए रंजशे सही. Yeah.
We are blessed with that moment because the way every song is made, probably it has a story behind it, and every singer there is a song behind it. The moments when you sang this before A.R. Rahman, I remember you telling me that feeling when you were introduced and you were singing ghazal before him. That moment changes a person's life. Now, if you have to tell a person who has a passion to singing or music or any kind of passion for that matter, what would that be? Like, would that person need to wait for a lifetime for that moment to come, or is it something else? How does that magic begin?
Okay. I was a very, very, very introverted person as a youngster. When I went to Bombay to do chemical engineering, my secret dream was to meet R.D. Burman.
Okay.
But I thought, and I didn't know how to reach him. I went to Bombay and I was there in my hostel and all that. And I used to call the number from the telephone directory. But you can never get up anybody like that. And then my dream was like somehow one day I'll be in the hostel I'll be singing loud in the hostel bathroom, and R.D. Burman will be passing by that, and then he'll stop his car and come in and say, "Hey, who's singing? Hey, you sing really well. Come sing a song for me." I really thought that was my fantasy, but that's stupid. You know, I was an idiot. For anybody who wants to be in music, they should first be crazy about music. Are they going to be just enamored by the money or all that in that? Then, there are so many other professions you can make more money. But music is something which you have to invest all your energy into. You have to be there. You can't talk about anything else but music. You can't think about anything else. It's almost like that. It's a fire that will constantly burn in you. If you recognize that fire, go out and meet people, go learn, be with those people, with people who are better than you. Go and knock on all those. Go learn. Go people who can learn. Learn means I'm not just talking about others' knowledge and academic learning. There's so much. Listen to so much music. Don't be prejudiced with one kind of music. Listen to all kinds of music, and listen to only the music that people give you and their experiences with the music industry, not beyond that. Don't ever take their views about the world and all that. Just shut your mind off. Just concentrate on music, and then you go ahead and you'll find your way. And the path is not very, what do you call? There are thorns also. So there are hurdles. So you should be brave to surmount all that. After 20 years in the industry, I had a problem. I had something called tinnitus and vertigo, noise in my ears, so I couldn't hear much, and that I went up on stage and screwed up a lot of times. I went to recordings and I couldn't pitch because I was hearing different. But I surmounted all that with the internet is full of great information regarding that, and a lot of good things like yoga and exercises and some herbs and stuff. I got back.
Now, if you have to say that you need a support, does a person who's successful need a support, or is it only the self?
It's the self that is the first thing. Then if you have a support system, it's great. Like in my case, my wife is a great support. She's there with me. And I have some close friends who are there with me always. But it's the self that's most important. You have to be brave to tide over your storms. It's you. Ultimately, it is the self. Because it's okay, man. Ultimately, what is there, it's not nothing else. It's not the end. And what is the end? And what is your life, ultimately? It's as insignificant as any mosquito. So, that is also there. As you enjoy your music, as you enjoy all these, frills of life, you also realize that can be taken away in a minute. That's what I realized when I lost my hearing. So, it can be taken away. Your voice can go There are so many singers whose voices have gone. What can you do? These are all frailties of humans. But you stay strong. If you stay strong, I think there will be a way.
uh, it's like I want to keep talking, but making a singer talk, I would prefer to listen to you sing more. Uh, one more song of the 2000 songs. Which one would you pick up and say that, yeah, this is my favorite song
I
of this
won't.
time?
I won't do that.
Yeah, because it's pretty difficult because all the songs are so very special songs. But
I
yeah,
was very
one of the best.
lucky. I was very lucky to sing some nice songs. Like you also have, like, I'll say, in Malayalam, my favorite song is വെണ്ണില കൊമ്പിലേറ പാടി എന്നും ഈ ഏട്ടൻ്റെ ചിങ്കാരി മഞ്ഞുനീർത്തുള്ളി പോൽ നിന്നോമൽ കുഞ്ഞു കൺപീലിയിൽ കണ്ണീരോ വെണ്ണില കൊമ്പിലെ രാപ്പാടി എന്നും ഈ ഏട്ടൻ്റെ ചിങ്കാരി. This is the song I love most in Malayalam that I have sung. Tamil, lots of songs are there, but my current favorite is முழுமதி அவளது முகமாகும் மல்லிகை அவளது மணமாகும் மின்னல்கள் அவளது விழியாகும் மௌனங்கள் அவளது மொழியாகும் மார்கழி மாதத்து பனித்துளி அவளது குரலாகும் மகரந்த காட்டின் மான்குட்டி அவளது நடையாகும்.
I'll just, as you said, a person who loves music will get lost in the music. Hindi favorite. Would it be again Dil Chahta Hai, or there's so many?
Yeah, there are, but Dil Chahta Hai definitely. And there's a lovely song that I sang for AR and Gulzar Saab. जिंदगी जिंदगी क्या कमी रह गई आँख की कोर में क्यों नमी रह गई तू कहाँ खो गई ओ तू कहाँ खो गई कोई आया नहीं दोपहर हो गई कोई आया नहीं जिंदगी जिंदगी.
Really touched our souls. And if I continue asking you, probably I'll keep asking you about the songs, but we would like to get more from you in another time again, because we look forward to hearing more from you, more about songs, more about music, more about everything. Just that the time I have taken, I know it's a very precious time. I've taken almost an hour's time from yours. Would like to listen more and learn more. I would actually like to say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I consider these lessons or these words as a true learning from you, and it's a moment of honor and pride to have you on Over a Cup of Tea, because people who follow passion, they need inspiration, and you are one. And that's what really made me take a step to come forward and ask that I need your interview.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me. It's a pleasure to talk to you as always. Over the years, I've always found that I just love the way you interact with people. So be the same. Enjoyed this interview as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.